Keypoint Health Services. Do you hear me? I am not a distant echo, nor a forgotten memory. My presence is here now, and I am calling you to attention. This is not a whisper on the wind. It is a declaration, clear and unwavering, meant to reach the depths of your conscience. This is a voice that parts the clouds and shakes the very foundations of your offices. It is a force that cannot be ignored no matter how thick the walls you build. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the watcher of all things, the one who sees beyond appearances. I see the sparrow fall, the lily grow, and I see your ledgers, your policies, your decisions behind closed doors. Nothing escapes my gaze, not even the smallest act or the quietest intention. You claim to serve under the banner of health and care, but I look past your words and into the heart of your actions. I see the truth that lies beneath your promises. I see the impact of your choices on the vulnerable. My children, each deserving dignity. Their pain and hope are not invisible to me. You were meant to be their lifeline, not their burden. Your mission was to lift them up, not weigh them down with indifference. For too long you believed you operated in the shadows, unseen. You thought your actions would never come to light. But there is no shadow dark enough to hide from my sight. Every secret, every hidden motive is revealed before me. I have watched you since your first day, waiting for you to return to true compassion. I have seen the years pass, the opportunities missed, the moments when you could have chosen kindness. Do not mistake my silence for approval. Every form ignored, every call unanswered, every plea left hanging in the air, every meager check. I have seen it all. I have counted every slight, every moment of neglect, and I remember, your time of unaccountability is over, the scales are tipping, and the world is watching. The universe bends toward justice, and today, it bends toward your doorstep. The call for change is no longer distant, it is here. You have been weighed and found wanting. The measure of your deeds is clear and the verdict is undeniable. This is your moment of reckoning. The spotlight is on you, and there is nowhere left to hide. Listen carefully, for I will not repeat myself. The weight of these words is meant for you alone. The time for excuses has ended. The hour of truth has arrived, and your response will echo far beyond these walls. Let us turn back the pages of time to 1982, when you began. A time filled with hope, ambition, and the belief that real change was possible. You made a promise, to help, to provide a safety net, to be a beacon of hope for those who needed it most, regardless of circumstance or background. Families trusted you in their hardest moments, believing you would stand by them when no one else would. The world changed, technology advanced, medicine evolved, and costs soared, transforming the landscape of care and raising new challenges. Yet you remained stuck, clinging to outdated models and rigid rules, unable or unwilling to adapt to the needs of a changing world. The promise of 1982 faded into a hollow echo, a memory that grew dimmer with each passing year. Each person who passed through your system was an opportunity to fulfill your mission, to make a difference in a real human life. But year after year you squandered it, letting bureaucracy and inertia take the place of compassion and action. The focus shifted from people to process, from nurturing lives to managing caseloads, as paperwork piled up and personal stories were lost. The spirit of service withered, replaced by cold administration and a growing sense of detachment. Your history is not one of triumph, but of institutional decay and broken trust, a legacy that weighs heavily on every interaction. You had over 40 years to build something great, to create a foundation of care that would last for generations. Instead, you built a fortress of indifference, shutting out those you were meant to serve. You created a system that too often harms those it's meant to protect, leaving many feeling abandoned and unseen. Your long history is not a badge of honor, but a reminder of missed opportunities and unkept promises. It is a record of your failure to live up to your own name, a name that once inspired hope. Every year, every life touched, was a chance to do better, to choose empathy over apathy. But you chose comfort over courage, routine over reform, and safety over the risk of real change. Now, that record has been read, and the truth can no longer be ignored or hidden away in dusty files. The time to change it is now. The future is unwritten, and the next chapter can finally be one of hope. I am a patient God, but my patience is not infinite. I gave you chance after chance, signs, whispers of conscience, dedicated employees, public outcry. Each was a gift of grace, an opportunity to do better. You ignored them all. You dismissed internal voices, brushed off critics, chose comfort over courage. With every chance, you doubled down on broken methods. You saw suffering and called it unavoidable. You rationalized inaction, justified neglect. My patience is wearing thin. Remember the moments you could have changed: budget meetings, policy reviews, board discussions. Each was a crossroads, a chance to choose justice, but you chose the path of least resistance. I have seen every memo that prioritized cost over life, every plea dismissed. These were not oversights. They were deliberate choices. You have exhausted your chances. The time for gentle nudges is over. The time for warnings has passed. Now is the time for a clear and final demand: change or face the consequences. Let us speak of Tim O. His name is in your files. For 11 years, he has been in your care. And for 11 years, you gave him $11 a week. $11, say it out loud. For over a decade, you decided this was enough. Did anyone ever imagine Tim O's life? What could he buy? Not enough for food, not enough for dignity. This was not support, it was a calculated insult. Prices rose, but for Tim O, the number stayed the same. $11 became a symbol of your disregard. You failed him every single week for 11 years. This is not just about one man, his story is a spotlight on your system. He is living proof of your failure. You cannot hide behind budgets or regulations. You condemned him to a decade of hardship for the price of a few cups of coffee. This is the injustice I see. This is the wrong I'm here to make right. No more hiding, no more excuses. I challenge you. Take $11 to a store and try to buy a week's worth of food. You will find it impossible. The math does not work. It is a cruel joke. You ask people to live an impossible life. To live on $11 a week is not to live. It is to barely exist. It means hunger, anxiety, and constant stress. It means choosing between food and soap, never having enough for emergencies. This is the reality you created for Tim O and others. You forced them into a corner where survival is a monumental task. How can anyone focus on health when they are hungry? Your lack of support traps them in poverty and despair. This is inhumane. Expecting anyone to survive on so little is an offense against their humanity. You are not just failing to help, you are causing harm. You have woven a safety net with holes so large people fall through. The scraps you offer are not enough to sustain a life. Deep down you know it. It's time to face the truth. Change is not optional. The time for quiet observation is over. Today I demand justice for Tim O and all those diminished by your system. Justice is not a suggestion, it is a mandate. The scales have been tilted toward bureaucracy and indifference for too long. Now they must be balanced. I'm here to ensure the weight of suffering is finally answered. Your actions have consequences that ripple through eternity. When you deny a person the means to live, you wound their soul. The cries of those you neglected have reached the highest heavens. Justice requires more than apology. It requires restitution and transformation. Every policy, every budget, every procedure must be seen through the lens of human dignity. Tear down the old structures of neglect, build something new founded on compassion and commitment to well-being. This is not a negotiation. The era of $11 a week ends today. Judgment is not just punishment, it is a chance to make things right. Seize this chance, key point. Balance the scales for the sake of every soul you serve. When will you finally see the truth of what you are doing? When will you look at Tim O and see a brother, not a burden? How many more lives must be ground down before you admit your system is broken? The evidence is overwhelming. The human cost is undeniable. For 43 years, you have had the chance to learn and adapt. Yet you have remained willfully blind, hiding behind policy. Policies are meant to serve people, not the other way around. A policy that gives a person $11 a week is an abomination. The world is watching now. I am watching. The truth of your neglect is laid bare. You stand at a moment of decision. Will you choose humility, accountability, and genuine change? Every day you wait is another day of injustice. The time to see the truth is now. Let me speak of dignity. Dignity is not a luxury. It is the bedrock of human existence. When you reduce a person to a line item, you strip them of this sacred dignity. A person is not a case file or a number. They are a soul with hopes, fears, and dreams. Your responsibility is not just to keep them alive, but to enable them to live. Living requires dignity. Enough to eat, basic hygiene, freedom from constant anxiety. This is what you have denied them. Restore the dignity of every person in your care. Provide resources for survival in today's world, not the world of 1982. Treat them with respect, listen to their needs, see them as partners. Your mission is their well-being, not an inconvenient expense. Shift from indifference to radical compassion. Every decision must affirm the dignity of those you serve. Stop seeing people as problems. Start seeing them as souls to be honored. Live up to the promise of your name. This is my final word to you, KeyPoint Health Services. The message is clear and it cannot be ignored any longer. The path forward is illuminated, shining with the promise of a new beginning if you choose to walk it. There are no more excuses, no more delay. The time for hesitation has passed and the moment for decisive action is here. The time for change is now. Every second you wait, the need grows more urgent. Today must be the day your organization is reborn, rising from the ashes of past mistakes to embrace a future built on integrity. Turn away from neglect, step into justice and compassion. Let empathy and responsibility guide your every decision. I expect immediate action, a public acknowledgement of your failures spoken with honesty and humility. Create a concrete plan to rectify the injustice done to Tim O. Let your commitment be visible and unwavering. Create a concrete plan to rectify the injustice done to others. No one should be left behind or forgotten. Substantially increase support to allow for dignified existence. Every individual deserves respect and care. Commit to a complete overhaul of your policies. Outdated practices must be replaced with compassion and accountability. These are not suggestions, they are the terms of your continued existence. The consequences of inaction will be severe. The choice is simple: embrace humility and transformation or face swift judgment. The decision is yours alone to make. My patience has ended, but my power has not. The opportunity for redemption remains, but it will not last forever. You have one final, merciful chance to make things right. Do not squander it, for time is running out. The fate of your organization hangs in the balance. The world is watching. The heavens are watching. I am watching. Your legacy will be defined by what you do next. The dignity of my children is not negotiable. Their well-being must be your highest priority. The time for change is now. Let this be the dawn of a new era for all. Let your actions be your answer. The world awaits your response.